We recording. I want to see how good I look. You know.
Please, you're not buff. Stop it. Stop it.
Gym, man. Come on. Don't play with him. Okay.
Here you go. How you doing? Nothing much. So we were late to Shamoun prayer, but they told us when I was talking to Muslims online, they said go to your local mosques. Maybe a imam or somebody will be open to talking to you in person about the prophets and stuff like that. And so we just have interfaith dialogue. I'm a Christian. We're Christians here, and that's what we do. So.
Can I get your name?
Yeah, Avery.
Avery?
Yes, sir.
I'm
yes, sir.
Shariar.
Shariar?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It means technically it's the name of a Persian king.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Are you Persian yourself?
I'm Pakistani, but Pakistani Afghani.
Yeah, that's dope. Okay. Well, yeah. So we was just basically asking like the basic questions. What you believe about the prophets, specifically like Jesus, because that's obviously for us Christians it's the most important one. How do you see Jesus?
Well, I mean, definitely, just as we believe that Jesus, we call him Isa, alayhi salam. Definitely we believe that he's a very important figure in the Islamic history and the Islamic society.
Yeah.
And also his mother, peace be upon her. There's a whole chapter in the Quran named after her. Right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of respect giving to Jesus to where he's known as the Word of God. Kalimatullah.
Yeah. I read that. I got my Quran too, so I read a lot about that, which fascinated me.
Yeah, I mean, definitely we have the utmost respect for Jesus. And he's a prophet of God. He's someone who is close to God.
Yeah.
Someone chosen by God. Obviously, we don't believe in his divinity. We don't believe that he's the Son of God.
Yeah.
We don't believe that he is God. We don't believe in the Trinity. But definitely we do believe in the, respecting the status of Jesus.
Yeah.
And we also apply that respect by trying to be like Jesus.
Okay.
In his worship of God.
For sure.
And his obedience to God.
So this is what's like gets me is the respect that you guys do have for the prophets. Like I'm very familiar with it. Like I trust me. I read the Quran. I've even looked into hadiths and stuff like that, tafsir, and so I look at commentaries and things of this nature. And a lot of times, even like when I see like dawah booths online on YouTube and stuff, I see that they say that Jesus was a Muslim. Now, as a Christian, I'm like, whoa, what? I thought that Islam didn't come until Muhammad.
Right.
So, but so for you, obviously, you believe that Jesus was a Muslim. You believe all the prophets were Muslims.
Yeah.
So, demonstrate to me like why you believe that Jesus historically was a Muslim.
Well, I mean, it's like if you look at Muslim from a different perspective, just because you're looking at modern day Muslims, they associate with Islam, so they're called Muslims.
Yeah.
But Muslim in the sense that they fully submit to God. Every single prophet, every single person who believed in God is considered a Muslim.
Okay.
Not in the sense that there is a technical religion with bylaws and rules and regulations and these things, but in the sense that in principle they were all Muslim, submitting themselves to God, understanding that there is no help, that there is no harm, no good, no bad, no benefit that can come to them except through God.
Yeah, okay.
Right? And
so it's that fundamental belief of one God, submitting to that one God, and that's why you guys apply the definition of Muslim. Okay.
And that's what, in Arabic, Islam means submission.
Okay.
Obviously, some individuals say it means peace. I've
heard that too,
of Islam, salam, means peace, right? But Islam means to submit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so let's because this is interesting. So I want to challenge this a little bit. Okay. So with all the prophets believing in one God, which I obviously agree as well as a Christian, right? And they had the same message and stuff like that. Now, but when a Muslim says submit to one God and submit to the God, right? That comes with a meaning. Like it can't just be any God that you say, right? I can't say that I submit to a statue and that's my one God and therefore I'm a Muslim, right? Like it has to be the specific concept of God that we find really that you say in Islam and that you believe the rest of the prophets taught, right? So just off of what I've seen, reading the Quran, I've seen, like chapter 112, right? He's only one. right? He doesn't beget nor is begotten and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He has no children. He has no sons. He's not the father, right? So it's this particular concept of Allah, of God, that you have to submit to be a Muslim, right? So that would be my next question then is, so how would you demonstrate to me as a Christian, right, that Jesus submitted to the same concept of God that you as a Muslim submit to?
Well, I mean, you know, we see in the Quran, right, what Jesus said to God, what Isa alayhi salam said to Allah. You know, Allah is giving a picture of what's going to happen on the Day of Judgment.
Yeah.
He's going to ask him that, did you, oh Jesus, tell your people to worship yourself and your mother, or to take yourself and your mother as gods, or someone who has some sort of share in the divinity of God? And so, you know, Jesus will reply, Isa alayhi salam, he will reply, he will say that, you know, if I did this, then you would know. You know, now from the beginning, now Jesus is submitting to God from the beginning, in terms of applying the fact that, you know, and affirming the fact that no knowledge escapes God. There's nothing that can escape Allah.
Yeah.
You know, Allah knows everything. You know, Allah encompasses everything.
Yeah.
And then from the aspect that and then Isa says, you know, alayhi salam, he says that forgiveness is in your hand. Punishment is in your hand. So, you know, he is submitting from before. And then in Surah Maryam,
chapter 19.
right.
Yeah.
He says, Inni abdullah, that I am the slave of Allah, when he's in, you know, he's a child.
When he's
baby,
born.
right? So this is him submitting to God from the beginning, from the birth all the way till the end.
Now,
sides we see.
So I understand that from a Quranic perspective, right? Now, if you were to demonstrate that to me as a Christian, because like as a Christian, I don't necessarily believe in the Quran. I'm reading it, and I'm seeing its claims. I see what it says about Jesus, right? I see it says that he's a slave of Allah, believed in Allah, things of this nature. Now, as a Christian, I would be like, okay, does this match historically with Jesus, though? Because I see the claim. Now, how would you demonstrate to me as a Christian, like, yes, like historically, you know, this was Jesus's beliefs, this was Jesus's how he practiced his religion?
Well, I mean, for that, you know, it'd take some time. Obviously, you know, there's a lot longer discussion, lengthier discussion to that in the validity of the scriptures, the validity of the, you know, narrations of the history of Jesus, the history of Christianity, and all these things. Yeah. So, you know, like, to be completely honest with you, I can't at the moment show you anything or give you anything from a historical perspective or a Christian perspective where Jesus, you know, submitted to God. Simply because, you know, you would. You know, it's history, it's historical, it's not validated. So, right?
So this is what I would say too, and first of all, I appreciate your honesty on that, like not trying to just give an answer to
like
give.
It would take a while, like there's a whole.
Take some time.
Not just, but there's a whole like discussion that's had. You know, there's I'd have to present you with, you know, facts and narrations and these things that I just don't have on me right now.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I understand. So with this topic then. Because when I read the Quran, because you mentioned validity of the scriptures, right? And so another thing that was important to me was how the Quran talks about the previous scriptures. And so how it says that we're supposed to follow the gospel, the Torah was revealed from Allah and things of this nature, and, you know, even, you know, the Quran and Muhammad's coming is in the scriptures, so the Jews and Christians have no reason to reject them, right? Are you of the opinion, though, because I've heard this, that the scriptures, the Torah and the gospel have been corrupted?
Yes.
Okay. So now this, I believe we could do you have my Quran is in the car, but, you know, this I love this subject, because from what I see that the Quran says the opposite, that the scriptures are preserved. Go ahead, talk to me.
Well, no, I mean, I think, you know, you're maybe, you know, you haven't read the Quran fully in depth. You know, there's the mentioning where Allah mentions, you know, that the people of the books, they did tahrif. You know, tahrif is switching of the words, you know, distorting the language and all of that, you know.
Let's talk about that.
that they were, distorting, doing tahrif of the words from their places. Meaning, they were distorting the message and the true word of God.
Right. All right. So that's good right there, because I checked that verse. I think that's in chapter 5, verses like 13 or 14, one of those verses. But what's up, man?
Yeah, you busy? I know.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah. You want
2
to?
minutes. I'm going live, got one.
Okay.
We're going to hook up, right?
Yeah. You didn't want to talk?
No, I mean you're talking.
It's the mom, man. He's open for the conversation. It's awesome. Yeah, we're talking about
Much nicer than he looks.
We're talking about whether or not the Quran talks about if the scriptures have been corrupted, and so he talked about the verse about how they're changing from their places.
No, it's not YouTube. But the camera ad's like 50 pounds, so I don't want to.
Stupid.
What is the camera for?
So I do blogging myself, and so I got a website and with Interfaith Dialogues, and I do have a YouTube channel, and so I try to go around and have interfaith dialogues with Muslims. I started going to the mosque now, so they told me, hey, go to your local mosque, and maybe your mom will talk to you. So
Let me, before you move on, were you born Muslim? I'm just curious.
Yes.
Okay, so are you South Asian?
Yeah.
So either Indian or Pakistani. Okay. You're the imam here?
Yeah.
Not to go off topic, what does Amir Ana mean?
That just named after the individual that bought this place and donated for the masjid. Yeah, just give
So
it
honor
a-
and respect,
yeah.
okay. So you guys are talking about scripture, he brought up what passage? I didn't.
oh, he mentioned how the Quran, not specific passage, but he mentioned how the Quran talks about how they change words from the right places, and he said that like they distort the meanings and interpretations of it and stuff like that. So that's basically where we're at. So it's just about to touch on
It's
that.
very hard when you don't have like the Quran or the Bible to show verse, because I know what the verses you're referring to. Most popularly that the Muslims use will be chapter 3, verse 78. But it says they distort it with their tongue, so obviously that's an interpretation, not the text, right?
Well, I mean, still, distorting doesn't just like writing wasn't as common as back then as it is now.
Yeah,
So
for the Arabs, you mean?
for anybody, right? So preservation was most. I mean, just because it mentions that they're distorting with the tongue doesn't negate the fact that there was distortion of text, right? It doesn't negate that fact.
Well, the reason why I say that, because even by the time Muhammad, you had already thousands of copies of the Bible in various languages. You had it in Latin, you had it in Syriac, you had it in Sahidic Coptic, you had it in Greek and Hebrew. And so you also had two communities, you had the Jews and the Christians. So the Jews were following their scriptures, and the Christians took their scriptures as part of theirs. So no Jew would agree with a Christian to corrupt the Jewish scriptures to agree with Christian theology. So, I mean, they wouldn't agree with that. Are you busy because you're looking
Yeah,
at
I'm gonna have to.
All right.
Have to
All
go,
right.
so.
Oh,
Well, maybe
but,
we'll come back and talk. I don't know.
yeah,
that's
no
okay.
worries.
Why don't you do this?
Cut you
Take
off.
information. If you have a Muslim da'i,
Yeah.
someone who's trained in like the
No, definitely. Yeah.
let him meet him. We'll meet him.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
definitely
maybe
talk
let's
to
do
them.
that.
Yeah. So if you have anybody, is there a way to reach them or to contact
Anyway,
them?
you can contact them because I'm sure you have.
You don't have to give me their numbers,
Yeah,
like emails or something.
Definitely.
If you have a card or something.
I don't have a card, but you can just call this masjid. It's forwarded to my phone.
Okay.
So the days that I don't answer, you're just gonna have to try another day, and I'll answer. Hopefully.
But you are aware of people who do dawah.
Yeah.
They're okay, good.
Okay. For sure, yeah. Well, hey, what was your name again, my brother?
Shariar.
Shariar.
Shariar, yeah.
I definitely appreciate the
Shari?
conversation.
Shariar.
Shariar.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you. Better to set him up tomorrow, and he'll be willing to talk.
Okay,
So
let's do it.
You wanna? Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's up to you. I don't want
Okay.
to because it's your like parade.
Man, you here, man? You in Vegas? You our guest, man.
All right, so I'm gonna go live in 40 minutes. After that, I'm done. Are you recording me, bro?
Yeah,
How
we
skinny
recording
I
you,
look,
man.
bro?
We getting you in here, man.
Hold on, man. Hold on.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. You kind of look a little.
What?
You've been doing this thing here, man.
Let me see.
Let's go ahead and do
See
it.
this. I haven't hit weights in a while, but I gotta do this. I gotta see, bro. Come on, man. See that, bro? See? Come on now.
Yeah, that's tough, man. That's why he
What's
ran.
up? What's up? How do I look, man? What's up?
That's
Hold
why
on,
the
let me
imam had to go.
see. What's up?
He only does chest.
And I haven't done no working out whatsoever. But I better not look fat, dude. If I do, I'm gonna sue you.